I'm not dead yet, but it was close. Almost smacked my face at a gas station. Almost passing out a couple days ago. Went to the emergency room, but I'm good now. I've slept the last 2 days, and I have not slept 2 days straight in over 2 months, which is partly why I haven't been functional. But let's cover Bepro. Enough about me. But just to let you know, I have been having some pretty big problems. And I haven't been able to figure out what it is. Let's look at Bepro on the Bitcoin pairing chart. And again, as I said in my previous altcoin videos I covered, Trias and Veracity, the loyalty tier is $3 a month, $36 a year. So depending on how much you plan on, working with Bepro, I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I would do for the live streams for the loyalty tier. But when I record sections like this, I have to water it down. That's the only way I can separate, why would I want to join somebody's tier? I need to provide value for people who are paying. And so I don't do it against free YouTube, but I'm trying to show people, I'm trying to provide some value to those tiers in one of those ways. So, which means I can't give you all the hints and secrets for free. That's what it means. This is versus Bitcoin. What do you see? I need you to see this first. And I will give you my hints on this because this is not versus the US dollar. So the ideas here are more general concepts, all right, with the Bitcoin pairing. This is Bepro versus Bitcoin. What do you see? Focus on this line as the general resistance, 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 resistance. And what did it do? It broke out. But also, and this is also when I take bites of my snack because I haven't eaten today. After losing 40 pounds since late December. And now being I weigh less than when I graduated high school now. Just by about a pound or two, but still I weigh less. Which is part of what is confusing me. Why am I losing so much weight on accident? So focus on these two things. Focus on this line and these boxes. And this line here. Those three things, I apologize. So this line right here, the Bepro having gone above it is great. Like that's a bullish freaking thing, right? But also, this was the lowest origin line ever. And it's not just gone below that one, but another one and another one. And it's getting ready to use that another one as resistance. Okay, so that is the second. So the first thing is good, a breakout, awesome. But you know what? If you take that line off and look at it another way, I mean, this is looking pretty bad. Going below origin lines and using them as resistance on a rally up, I mean, it just looks like it's a gasp of air from this perspective. And again, this is not versus the dollar. And the third thing I want you to consider is look at these, momentum zones. So after the breakout of that line, I wanted to show people how momentous is this move. So the momentum from having broken out is now in the red zone, which means if it doesn't bounce from the line actually it just did. So actually it just hit that line. So if it can't get it back above this, after using the breakout line as support, which it just did right here, it's done. At least versus Bitcoin. Buttcoin, Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it. So one thing is bullish, one thing is waning, and one thing is bearish. Mixed review, right? Now let's go to the dollar chart. Here is what I've planned this out for you so you can simply try to replicate what's on here. I'm not going to give you my thoughts on where it's going, apply basic support and resistance rule, but I'm giving the tools, the exact tools I would use. I'm just not showing you how I'm going to use them. Like, am I going to use this hammer to rip out a nail, or am I going to use the hammer to put a new nail in? I'm not telling you the answers for that one. But I'm using a hammer and a nail. So that's still pretty good, right? And it's $36 a year to get my thoughts on all of it. All right, so for the loyalty tier. All right, so this is the 12-hour 200. Most altcoins and Bitcoin are more focused on the daily 200. here's a pretty valuable hint number one for free. I think the 12-hour 200 is working way better. And if you want to look at it on a lot smaller time frame, let's go to the 3-minute. But Tim, that's not the, you're on a different time frame. That's the 3-minute 200. Yes, it is. But if you go like this, boom. And you can see how Bepro was. So once it gets close to the line again, you can then investigate these perfect areas of support and resistance. Is it going to bounce and then keep going up, or is it going to stuck and get used as resistance? But as long as Bepro's above here, it's not in bad shape. I'm going to be very frank with that. So now I'm on the 5-minute chart looking at that 12-hour 200 EMA. I mean, Bepro's way above it. It's perfectly fine. It looks like it can go down 20% and still be okay. Yeah, that actually is almost exactly 20%. But by the time it got down there, this would have risen a little bit. So Bepro technically could have a 17% pullback down to this line, which is marked. I will zoom out in a second. I have them all perfectly marked for you. My hammer and nails, I'm just not showing you how I'm going to use them. So technically, Bepro is just fine. But look at it this way, though. Let's go down to the daily. You got the breakout on Bepro versus Bitcoin, but now it's waning, but still the price versus the dollar never broke out, while you have waning bullishness versus Bitcoin. However, is there enough space here to trade up? Well, you would have to use your measuring stick to find out. It looks like a small spot. It might be a small spot. It might be a 200% rise from here to here. You just have to use your measuring stick, which is located over here on TradingView. It's the thing that looks like a ruler. And now let me do this so you can try to replicate those exact lines. I even spent several minutes trying to make it perfect. Snapshot that, rewind if you needed. I'm going to keep moving. But also, I would use a rotate. Ooh, I don't even have it set up right. I must have done this really fast. Perfect. I would set up a rotated rectangle exactly what I just did. The very top wick, the all-time high, that March 16th, the exact day that I told you this is the top. And it's recorded on YouTube for all of history to see. But that exact point would be the top of the rotated rectangle. And then the next one and the next one are the bottom. You want the whole damn thing. You don't want one line. It doesn't work. One line trend lines aren't useful, I'm telling you. Well, not for large time frames. I take that back. I said that totally wrong. I said that wrong. Over longer periods of time, as in months or a couple years, a one-line trend line is not helpful. Because you're going to think it breaks out, or you're going to think it gets rejected, but really it's not. For example, if you had the one line here, only this one, you would think that this is a rejection, but really it could come here and find support and then dig out. If you don't have the whole dang thing. If you only had this line here, right? You would think, oh, that's a rejection, but really you have support just under it. You can get stuck in here and go bam. Does that make sense? Or you could think that breakout above this, like this one here, you could have thought, oh, this is the one trend line. It's a breakout. But if you just had this line here, like I'm showing you, you would know, no. And you'd also see, whoa. Water lines, perfect double resistance. And you would have been a seller there. Very obviously. And so make sure, this might be the most important thing on your Bepro versus the dollar chart. And I just showed you exactly how to make it. So this is the top from 2021, March 16th, okay? And then here are all the other horizontals that you need. Basic support resistance, connect the dots that I just did. And if you want my thoughts on where it's going and for me to use the measuring stick for you to let you know what can and can't be done in here under certain conditions, then you can watch the stream that is available for rewatching to my community members only. We'll see you on the next one.